Fast forward, any come our channel is AGH Politics Avenue. Political source only a trendy and because making headlines. Nejembre na EDB exomo. Need me a roxy, Mr. Oxe, Unia, Yumbo Ingro a political highways in them at Enya Sambotra. Now a year Wontumi case, and a lawyer Martin Kpedu Edinano Atum. Now on Joy News channel and a host in Ebusana say in case he say judge it throw away a year lawyer attaching ni plead say on postponing a year 10 July judgment now. What is going to be the next available option for a year accused person a year chairman Wontumi na yinti in some ahodoa a year lawyer Martin Kpedu if you go ho ede ema yen AGH Politics Avenue
of time. So justice is ministered. And it will be seen by the whole world that, look, even the judge said, I've given you a little time, put across your case and let me consider it. That is fair trial and justice. But to shut the door on his face when he has no lawyer, I don't believe that will be justice.
But the Attorney General maintains that the trial has already run its course and that all parties really have had the opportunity and ample time to present their case. And so what exceptional circumstances really will justify a reopening of the process at this stage?
Yes, the exceptional circumstance is the law at 30. I don't want to argue the law here now, which says that the accused person is entitled to address the court. It's a whole statute. So therefore, if the lawyer is no longer with him, how can a lay person address the court and write written submission? I'm very glad that, my colleague has been some very prominent person in a justice delivery system. Everybody is quoting him, Martin Kpedu. It's all because of justice. How can you expect a lay person to address the court? And therefore, I'll be pretending that I'm an Einstein in the law, that within, 2 weeks, I'll be able to read the entire record and write a credible written submission. I shouldn't be pretending that I know too much. I should take my time and look at it. So I'm not saying that the judge should not deliver the judgment. I'm saying that by reason of the circumstances and me coming in lately and at the climax of the case, it should give me the opportunity to play this role in the interest of fair trial. That's enshrined in Article 19.
Because how much time really do you need, realistically speaking?
Well, I don't have to say everything here. I'll urge it upon the court. And the judge also understands how long it takes. For a lawyer to, put together a credible written. So when she should ask me, I'll ask for some good time, a reasonable time, so that everybody will see that I'm not trying to delay the process, but I want to, with the greatest of respect, defend my client in accordance with law and shed light on the case from my perspective.
And what would be reasonable and good time to you? 3 months? 2?
Oh, no, it won't be 3 months. At all, it won't be 3 months. But I think we will talk about reasonable time when I'm before the court.
I'm interested in the reasonable time. At least it can help us plan ahead. Even as journalists, we want to know, is a month okay for you?
Well, if you push me, 6 weeks will be fine. And the realm called Ghana will not cave in if a citizen of this country is given 6 weeks to put together a credible written submissions. It will not affect the inflation in the realm. It will be consistent with fair trial and criminal justice, that an individual with no professional training, cannot address the court, and the judge said, I'll give you some allowance because you were a Johnny just come. Familiarize yourself with the proceedings and write out what you think is the position of the accused person. We are not asking for too much.
And we know that this case has attracted a lot of public interest, especially because of the allegations surrounding illegal mining. How would you ensure that your legal strategy really remains focused on your client's constitutional rights rather than the political attention surrounding the case?
Well, I believe it's because of the political tensions that sometimes is making the Attorney General run faster than is required, because sometimes they want to play to the gallery and satisfy constituents. But when it comes to justice delivery, madam, it's not how bad Galamsey is or how terrible it is, which will be the underlying factors to deal with an accused person, but the law and the evidence. A man should not be sentenced on the basis of public sentiments. Martin knows what I'm talking about, as to how they feel about it. But as to how the law as put together by the Attorney General will ground a case which has been proven beyond reasonable doubt. It is not Galamsey that is going to rewrite our Evidence Act for us, that prove beyond reasonable doubt when it relates to a criminal matter. No. The law is independent of the feelings and the sentiments of the general public. If not, I'm afraid we will be tried in the in the court of public opinion, and people will be guilty before they are sentenced. And that is terrible indeed for the nation. That will not be upholding the rule of law. But then we are whipping the sentiments of, some constituencies and political people who believe that, you've been here for too long, and if you not secure warrant, imprisonment, relative to opponents. That is not law at all.
Stay with me. Let me bring back Martin Kpedu. The AG's argument is simple. This case has run its course. What is left now is judgment. If the court dismisses the application based on the arguments being made by the AG, what are the likely next available legal steps that the defense team can apply?
Then they would attempt to arrest the judgment on the day it is to be delivered. So let's say on July 3. Now, do we see that July 3, it appears would be a public holiday? So that means that ordinarily it may not come off. Yes, you see, the courts have held in Kpedu number 4, there's Attorney General number 4, that the court can sit on public holidays, etc., right? Yes, so if the court wants, it can sit. But a lot of the time, if it's not a bail matter, very, very urgent, the court may say, under the rules, actually, the court will sit on the next working day, which will be Monday, July 5th. Now, so on the day, whether July 3 or it will go to July 5th, there is what lawyers call motion to arrest the judge. So the day the judge is going to give a judgment, the lawyer can file a motion. Let me use ordinary words, an application to the court to stop that, not to give the judgment because of some reason. Now, to put it simply, even though the court can throw out that last-minute application, what happens is that last-minute application is usually filed last minute, from its name last minute. So you will find that at the time they will be before the court, the Attorney General will not have a copy, the court will not have a copy. But the lawyer, accused and his lawyer, so Wontumi and his lawyer, can show their copy to the judge. And once it's shown that it has been filed, then it means they have to postpone the case a bit to consider the reasons for which Wontumi wants to stop the court from delivering judgment. And even on the return day, that's the day it is finally dealt with, even if it's thrown out, then now there's an opportunity to go on appeal. So actually, legal gymnastics, there are not to be deployed. But it's heartwarming to hear Atachi saying that it doesn't need more than 6 weeks. Now, we can say this, to move the law forward, right, to get all of us, we are a nation. I like the statement made that Ghana is not caving in the next 2-3 weeks. We'll be here for centuries. We will even die and go, and Ghana will be here. So based on that, if he goes in with a request for 6 weeks, I'm sure they can negotiate and then come somewhere in between, middle of the road. Because when I say middle of the road, the court will go on vacation on 31st July. I've not checked. Is it a working day? If it's a working day, then that day the court will work. But if it's 31st falls on Saturday, then it means that the last day will be 30th. If you can have somebody check which day 31st July.
I think 31st July is a Friday.
Very good. So that's the last day the court will work, and then the court has to go on a break. So till, let's call it roughly 10th of October. There's a way to calculate it. If I calculate it, it will waste time and maybe some people will not follow us. So now, this is what I'm saying. So within August, September, some special courts work. When I say special, meaning a few courts work to deal with only urgent matters. So let's say, what's your name again? Is it Jema Ofori? Or what's your name?
Say that again.
Hello? I said, what's your name? Let me give you your name for an example.
Faustina, cancel.
Faustina. Okay, Faustina, Safo, good. Now, Faustina, assuming somebody wants to take your child away, your husband wants to run away with your child to the U.S., and it's 1st August or 10th August. That one, we cannot wait till October. So there is a way your lawyer can run to court, and then they will seek to stop him. So what I'm saying is that in the months of August and September, up to about the 10th of October, thereabout, it's only very urgent matters, or somebody is building on your land, etc., but not to give judgment like in the Wontumi case. So that's what I'm saying, that so we have up to 31st July. So when Atachia goes in and they negotiate, anytime before or on the 31st of July, it's possible. It's possible because he says he needs 6 weeks. Maybe he goes and is able to persuade the judge. The judge may say, I'll give you 3 weeks more. It may come in the middle or 3rd week of July. Or worst case scenario, the 4th week of July. Or there's also the other option that if he wants to give an undertaking that he will agree to the judge to apply to the Chief Justice for extension. So I told you that the August, September, up to the first few days of October, we don't do such judgment in criminal cases. Others we don't do. If he wants to agree that he insists on the 6 weeks, which will take him into August, then in that case, if you agree that they will apply to the Chief Justice that they should do the judgment in August, everybody will be there. We are a nation, good faith. And the judge can come and deliver in August. But otherwise, August, September, and the first few weeks of October, it's holidays. We don't do this type of business. That's giving judgment in the criminal case. And let me be clear, when I say holidays, that's High Court, Court of Appeal, Supreme Court. And even those ones, they do urgent cases. And I'm saying this judgment is not the type that is called urgent. Unless Atachia agrees that he will come to court in August, and then he will agree and write to the Chief Justice, then the judge will apply, and then it can be done.
I see. Stay with me, Martin. Let me bring in Samuel Atacham to find out your next line of action. You are pleading for 6 weeks. If you don't get 6 weeks, what will be your next line of action?
Madam, I beg to remain silent on my next line of action because I don't want to, with the greatest of respect, practice the law in advance. I'm hoping, and I'm praying also, that the judge should have exercised the discretion in our favor that any person before the criminal court who has a right to counsel, and the right to counsel straddles the entire trial till you get the address, and the man has no lawyer at the climax of the case, giving us a little accommodation will not shortchange the state. I believe the judge should see through this and give us the space to do some good work, all in the ultimate interest of justice. Because at the end of the day, people will also be saying that, why is the judge depriving a man of the opportunity to present his address as enshrined by law? What do you say? Do you want people to say that, oh, the judge was jaundiced against Wontumi, and when he was disadvantaged because he didn't have a lawyer, he rubbished the whole situation and gave a judgment? So I'm afraid it is not that simple, but I'm very excited this hour that as always, Martin's sense of the law is sound. And I'm very, very glad because sometimes people believe that, oh, we are just playing with situation, we want to delay justice, but that would never be a delay of justice. As a matter of fact, it's going to advance justice. A man's address was put together, and the judge looked at it and came to one conclusion or the other. That is what we are praying for.
Well, some people are of the opinion that the NPP would be electing its chairman soon, and we know that Chairman Wontumi, he's vying for that position. So this is simply delay tactics, just to buy him enough time to contest and, if possible, win that seat. How do you respond to those concerns?
It will be a lottery of a projection to think that Wontumi will be the next chairman. We don't know. And even if you look at all these matters that he's grappling with, we don't know the outcome. But madam, in as much as people might want to project politics, which they love to do, one thing I will say, this country is a nation where we should uphold the rule of law. A man has been arraigned before a competent jurisdiction, and I am of the view that every accused person, whether he has political proclivities or not, is not the matter. What is the matter is the law. And the law is saying that he can address the judge. Now he hasn't gotten a lawyer. Let's put MPP aside. We are praying in aid his right to counsel at this climactic stage of this case. And if somebody believes that, oh, let's read politics into it so that he becomes the chairman, that is his own permutation that I won't take from him. But as far as I'm concerned, we are not urging anything MPP on the judge. It's only the law. And we are going to do so forcefully.
Your final words.
Well, I pray to God that because we have the rule of law, as even enshrined in Article 19 of the Constitution, talking about fair trial, the Attorney General is representing the Republic of Ghana in the case. The ordinary citizen of Ghana hasn't gotten a lawyer to aid him write a written submission. I trust God that even for even balance and equity in the law, the judge should give us a space so that we put our case across. That is our humble prayer, and we're going to urge upon the judge to do so.
Thank you so much. Samuel Achacha is lawyer for Chairman Wontumi. I'd like to wrap up with Martin Kpedu. Your final words.
Okay, well, so it's all right. What I'll say is that, as Achacha said, he will not dabble in the politics. But just to remind citizens, you see, sometimes when people of his party, I'm not going to the politics of it, but it's important. You see, people of his party started ridiculing this administration that Ora is dead, Ora is dead, Ora is dead. You see, so now today he needs more time to study brief. But because there's political pressure from citizens that Ora is dead, you see, it has put Wontumi's case in a bind. So when politicians set out to, cause disaffection for a government in power, sometimes it's better that they think ahead, because we think which political case are they ever saying? Remember those days, various governments come in 1.5 years and they are done. Some of the cases, the people who were convicted, Ibrahim Adam and Co, Kwame Tetra, the NDC people those days, 2 years, 3 years. But this one is what? Just about a year, and they are done. You see, so the caution is to the people who seek to make political capital out of everything. You are ridiculing the ruling government. Ora is dead. Ora is dead. Now, Ora is about done with one of the cases involving Ashanti Regional man. And the lawyer needs more time to study the brief. You see, so this is a warning to politicians to stop giving citizens, stop causing disaffection needlessly. You see, in our trade for power, we say things, and then those things come back to bite us. And that's what Wontumi is facing now. Otherwise, ordinarily, this request Achacha is making, it's not any extraordinary request. It's not difficult, easily, but for the political disaffection the party is caused, this thing could have gone into October. Like I told you, because we are going on vacation, it could have been adjourned into October. But some people have caused the party, the government, a lot of pressure. Ora is dead. Ora is dead. And so the prosecutor, Attorney General, won't take it lightly to agree that Ora is dead. That's how come this is causing all this tension. But
we ain't some who team course watching on the so. Mammy and also Jim Ray, that's an so bad in the Dumbi Domania.